Hey everybody, it's Melissa. I wanted to make a video on a fragrance that I decided to wear late last night just because I haven't really been wearing fragrances as often, especially to bed. And that's something that I used to do pretty often in the beginning of my fragrance journey. But for some reason, maybe it's because we're in fall already, I was like, I do kind of want to wear a sweeter scent because I can't get away with it in the daytime. So the sweet scent that I decided to throw on was Layton by Parfums de Marly. And I took off the cap before this video just because, I don't know, like the sun, or there was like some light, maybe it was coming from like my neighbor's house or something like that. It was reflecting on the cap and it was kind of blinding me a little bit. So I took it off. But anyways, I wore Layton last night and I only did 1.5 sprays. I technically sprayed twice, but you know, the first spray, not everything came out, which is why I did a second spray. And I did it on the back of my neck. And honestly, the first couple minutes after I did that, I was like, yeah, man, this is why I wasn't feeling it as much. Like I was like, okay, it's a little much right now. But when this thing dried down, I would say probably maybe like after 30 to like minutes to an hour, I was like, holy shit, this thing smells good. Okay, and that's not to say Layton smells bad within the first couple minutes of the fragrance, okay? I think it's just because I really have not been wearing strong fragrances like this, especially on the sweet side as of lately. So it was just kind of like reintroducing this type of DNA to my nose again, right? But no joke, I was tossing and turning in bed and I'm like, fuck, this thing smells so good. It is so good. And it kind of made me a little upset because I really can't wear sweet fragrances the way I would want to. Like if you're somebody that lives in a place where, you know, you get the 4 seasons, or you live somewhere where it's predominantly cold outside and you have the ability to use these type of fragrances to their true potential, I think that's amazing, right? So Layton on me, it kind of smells like this apple vanilla fragrance. That really is all it is. It's a more masculine sweet scent, very likable, very mass appealing. This is the type of fragrance that if I have anything to attend this coming fall, this coming winter, that's nighttime really, when the sun is down and I'm not in a place where it's like, let's take Vegas, where even if the sun is down, sometimes it's like 97 degrees out. You know what I mean? Places like that, I wouldn't pull for this, but anywhere else where it's a bit chilly, where I'm going to be wearing a sweater and the sun isn't out or it's super gloomy, then maybe I'll throw on Layton. Because this really is a beautiful fragrance. And by the way, I'll put a link for Layton in the description box below. It's going to be also pinned in the comment section. Because the reason I wanted to wear this fragrance again also is because there was that recent Parfums de Marly sale and I'm like, damn, let me revisit some of these. So I smelled Eau Jaune again, which is fantastic. I've been smelling the Delinas almost on like a weekly basis just because I gifted those to my mom. So whenever like she would want to throw them on and I smell her, I'm like, yeah, that smells fantastic, right? But as for the fragrances in my personal collection, I love Carlisle, but for some reason, I really wanted to smell Layton again because it's a classic. You know, I feel like for a lot of people that are new to niche fragrances, let's just say you've been wearing maybe designers, or you just really want to step it up to something more on the sweet side, on the masculine side, go for something like Layton. There's a lot of talk and a lot of hate on Parfums de Marly right now just because it's becoming a very popular brand. It has become a very popular niche brand, but understand that with popularity comes a lot of hate. You know, a lot of people want to feel different, so they want to hate on popular things and try to minimize it and make it seem like it's not even that good in the first place. But when you have a fragrance like Layton that performs well over 12 hours, that has the mass appeal, that has that, it smells luxurious. You know what I'm saying? This is not the type of fragrance that if you were to roll into a place like Sephora or Ulta, right? Or the mall where most people just grab their fragrances, you're not going to be smelling a scent like this. The reason why it's so mass appealing is because it smells rich. It smells elegant. It smells like something that most people haven't smelled before. And it has that DNA that just makes it very appealing. And it just makes it, it's something that once you get your nose on this, it becomes addicting. Like last night was literally my, what's the word? Not remembrance. What am I trying to think of? Like reassociation with how fragrances can do that, right? Like typically, like I've told y'all, I've been wearing a lot more of those fresh fragrances and I still love that. But again, wearing something like this, if you hear something in the background, it's my little robo vacuum. Sorry about that. But wearing something like this, where it's not technically a gourmand, right? If you don't know what gourmand means, it means it smells like you want to lick it. It smells like you want to eat it, right? Edible. But it just, it brings out a type of just like feral reaction from people when you wear this. And just talking to y'all about my past experiences with Layton, it has not failed me. The reason it's just not in my rotation as much is because of the weather, right? But and also I just favor the fresher scents in general. But wearing something like this from time to time, I think it's a good, just like cozy, warm, let's cuddle, let's snuggle type of fragrance. I was actually debating between wearing this and Dior Homme 2020 because I smelled Dior Homme 2020 first and I was like, shit, this is a good fragrance. And by the way, that scent, really, really good. Love that one. A lot of people, whenever I talk about Dior Homme 2020, they ask for my opinion on the Intense, and I like Dior Homme 2020 better than the Intense. But anyways, back to Layton. Performance is there, mass appeal is there, uniqueness is there, and that's another point I really want to drive in to y'all is the internet makes this seem like it's not a unique fragrance. They make it seem like everybody's wearing it just because Parfums de Marly is a popular niche brand. But most people that you run into, I'm going to literally assume like 99% of people that you actually encounter in the real world don't really give that much of a shit about fragrances. Like when I say that, I don't mean that they don't care about smelling good. I mean that they don't even know what a niche fragrance is. And the times that I have actually been what's it called? Jeez, I'm blanking on so many of my words right now. When people have come up to me to compliment my fragrance and I'd be wearing a niche fragrance and I would tell them what the fragrance is and they're like, what is that? Is that a Chanel scent? Is that a Coach scent? And I would say, no, it's a niche scent. I would use the word niche. And they're like, is that a brand? What does that mean? Okay, so just because something is popular on the internet, I've said this a million times, it does not mean it's popular in real life. The internet's opinion does not equate reality. And that's what I try to do on my channel is tell y'all just honestly my experiences with these fragrances and giving you like the real world view of what people think about these scents, because people really, really love them. If you're the type of person that wants to impress people like random strangers on a Reddit group that get off on trying to be more elitist than the other because they wear a super polarizing scent that smells like a barnyard, like cow shit, you know what I mean, type of thing, like aroma, then you're probably not going to like Layton, right? I would probably suggest Layton Exclusive. And I'm not saying that smells like barnyard, but I'm just saying that's the type of fragrance, the exclusive, that's going to impress people online, right? That have that sense of like, you know, trying to look down on other people for wearing more accessible, mass appealing things. But if you're somebody that's outside, if you're somebody that's, you know, you're living your best life, you're looking for a good social fragrance that's going to hold you down, you're looking for winners in your collection, you know, and like you're not looking to put like, I don't know, 20, 50, 100 fragrances. You're like looking for your starting 5 or even 3 or even 1. Like I promise you, if a sweet masculine scent is what you're looking for, you go with something like Layton. I'm going to say it again. If you're outside, you get a fragrance like Layton and you will not be disappointed with it. And the last thing I'm going to say is I don't get the Vicks Vapor Rub smell throughout the wear of this fragrance. I can kind of understand maybe in the beginning, right? But even on my skin, I don't really get it as much. Really, I think that just comes with fragrances. At the end of the day, there's their alcohol, right? So of course, when you spray something and it's sprayed up close on something else, what you're gonna get is just that alcohol, and you gotta let it dry down. So when people always try to say like, oh yeah, it smells like that, it smells like that, it's a perfume. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, to me that's kind of common sense, but anyways, I do love this fragrance. I actually, if it's colder tonight, then I'll throw on Carlisle again because that one was my favorite to wear. But really, really happy with with the there it goes again, third time in this video. But really, really happy that I decided to throw on Layton last night. It's just snuggly, and this I would say is a good date night fragrance. Now, I know this video is kind of droning, but just let me do my thing here. All right. When I say date night, I don't mean like don't overload yourself with this fragrance. Okay. Do not, especially if you're going on a dinner date, don't have Layton competing with the aroma of like your steak or your lobster or your mac and cheese, whatever it is that you're eating, or your pho. Dear God, not the pho, please. Okay. Because it's, let it be something that your date or whoever will smell when they're close to you, not something that's going to be pushing off the table. And and I've been saying last thing, another thing I want to add to that, a lot of people ask, well, what about school? Can I wear it to school? I don't see this, I'm going to tell you straight up right now, I don't see it as a high schooler fragrance. I get a lot of teenagers asking me, hey, I'm 15, I'm 14, I'm going to get Layton, I'm going to get Carlisle, because they're watching a lot of fragrance YouTube videos, a lot of fragrance TikToks. I think that a 15-year-old wearing Layton just doesn't come across as believable. It comes across as, oh, you're wearing your dad's fragrance. You know what I'm saying? But it is one of the more versatile parfums the Marley scents, and don't let that stop you from wanting to try it if you want. But I'm saying, like, to me, Layton is a grown fragrance. A lot of the parfums the Marley scents are grown fragrances. You know what I mean? They don't smell like somebody that, like, their mom drops them off to school. It doesn't smell like somebody that, like, you know, is on the JV team. So it's just like, that's my idea of parfums de Marley. You know what I'm saying? Like past college. I mean, if you're in college, sure. But yeah, Layton, I just don't see it straight up as a high schooler fragrance the way I would view something like Pink Sugar by Aquilina or Fierce by Abercrombie and Fitch. You know what I'm saying? Like those I feel like are suited for that type of demographic. But again, you know, people are creative. They want to be expressive in different ways, wear expensive fragrances. But in school, I don't see this as a school fragrance. Also, like wearing this to parties, wearing this like I said, dates, nighttime occasions, whatever parties, galas you're getting dressed up, cool, right? But wearing this as your signature scent in school, and also it's like hot outside and it's PE and you're smelling like, you know, the Layton is mixing in with your sweat and the heat. It's just a recipe for disaster. And again, I know in school, a lot of people, they do want compliments on their fragrances. But you have to remember, when you're rolling into school in the early hours of the morning, sometimes like a fragrance like Layton could be a bit much. Like this shit is how you close a night. It's not how you like open your day at like 7 a.m. and people are still like, you know, trying to defrost and somebody comes in with 10 sprays of Layton. You're going to be a jackass. So please don't be doing that. Again, that's what I would recommend. End of the day, you're going to do exactly what you want to do. But if you know how to use this right and you do just the amount of sprays, it's a sexy fragrance. This is an easy scent to go overboard with because people know it's good and they want attention from it. And then it can easily become cloying. It can easily become nauseating. It can easily become douchebaggy. So I just urge people watching this video to still have some sense of social awareness and decorum in general when it just comes to wearing fragrances. Like, don't be wearing Layton on a plane with like 8 sprays and wondering why nobody's complimenting you. It's because it doesn't last. No, it's because you're annoying the shit out of everybody with your perfume. Okay, so anyways, share your opinion on Layton in the description box, the comment section below. Again, y'all, okay? Still love the scent. I could give 2 shits of people hating on it, even though it's been popular the past 3 years. I don't care if something's popular. If it's good, I'll still tell y'all and keep it real about if I think it's good or not. And I think Layton's great. Anyways, I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.